Hi friends, myself Divya. Today I am going to explain the topic like kernel modules. Modules means we all already know that it is a piece of a code. Kernel means it is one of the important core in the operating system. Whenever both the process together, that process is known as kernel module. Modules are pieces of a code that can be loaded and unloaded into a kernel upon a demand. They extend the functionality of the kernel without the need to recompile and reboot the system. Let us start the example like one type of module in the device driver which allows the kernel to access the hardware connected to the system. And also, without the module, we would not have to build a monolithic kernels and add new functionality directly into the kernel image. Monolithic means it is a single kernel. Next, we have studied about Linux components. Linux components majorly consisting of three types, that is module management, driver registration and conflict management. Module management is nothing but it allows the modules to be loaded into a memory and to talk to the rest of the kernel. And also driver registration means the kernel it allows some of modules in the process, but it again allows the sum of rest module kernel that can be driver has been available. Conflict module it nothing but it allows the different devices drivers to reserve the hardware resources and to protect those reserves from the accidental use by the another driver. Majorly we have studied about what is a module management. Module management, this is a management of a section of module code as kernel memory in the handling of a symbol, references, that modules are be allowed to and references. And also a Linux totally maintain the internal symbol table and also the kernel. It can be defines the communication between the both the module management and also and kernel management. It depends on both the two stage. One is utility of the function and also an kernel relocated in the driver's locator. Next, the driver registration. Registration is nothing but it allows so many process to and rest of the process in the kernel. That means the kernel is maintain the dynamic tables of the drivers, provide a set of routines to allow the driver to be added, remove and add a purpose. In this driver registration, they are differentiated of many types. That is, one of the type of the driver like device driver. These drivers included character devices. Character devices is nothing but printers, terminals, book devices, etc. And network devices also is the one of the example for the device driver. Next is the file system. File system is also another type of the device driver. The file system can be used to and implemented of the Linux virtual file system. Calling the routines, it may be implemented the file to be displayed. And next we have studied about the network protocol. In this network protocol, we can implement the module in the form of such of IPX of packets, filtering rules. We can and also a network firewall. In this way, we can implement the protocols in the kernel module. Next, the type is binary format. Binary format is nothing but this is the one of the important format in the OS. It can be recognizing and loading a new type of executable file in the system. Lastly, we have studied about the last type of the operating Linux component is conflict resolution. Resolution is nothing but what are all the changes is present in the system. It can be conflict that resolution in this method. This is a method, it's a mechanism to help the arbitrate access of the certain hardware resources. Its aim can be follows like this way. The conflict resolution, it can be prevent the modules from the clashing over access the hardware resources. When the two or more processes are in the running process, that can be clashing together. That prevent it can be stalled by using a conflict resolution. Next one is the prevent auto routes and devices, device probes and auto device configuration interfering the device drivers. These also can be resolved by using a conflict method. Lastly, we are studying about The another uses of conflict resolution like to resolve the conflict among the multiple drivers trying to access the same hardware. For example, as when both of a parallel printers devices and a parallel line IPPLP network drivers to can talk the parallel printer ports, the kernel maintains allocated the hardware resources. It is can be nothing but it can be resolve the conflict among the multiple driver also. And the kernel maintains it allocated hardware resources, and it is also an up parallel printer port. These ends can be maintained by the conflict resolution. Example for simple model like here I can declare the simple kernel model like hello. It can be needed some of models like Linux model and some of header files like Linux model and kernel. I can print the method like hello world. It can be written the value like 0. Void cleanup model, it is an another method. It can be written for purpose. We can use it that void cleanup, and it can be printed like the return value like goodbye heard. Model lessons GPL. This is the one of the important simple program of the simplex model. Totally, this was very useful for resolving the conflict between the two devices or multiple drivers. Thank you.